Welcome back to Your Health Matters. My guest today is Mike Ross, the Director of Environmental Services here at Kingman Regional. Thanks for being on the show, Mike.
Thank you, Jamie.
Every time I do the show, I learn more things, so it's it's very educational for me, I think, as well as the audience. So you've shared with us all of the aspects of environmental cleaning, or the environmental department, what that means. But then we're talking about service excellence and how you've helped train and embody that into the staff here at Kingman Regional. And I know you've talked about it's a team effort, not just by yourself. So what other things have you done?
It's kind of interesting on the training that we've done. One of the fun things that we did in developing that program is that one of the tasks we had as a committee was to go out and find the best video on customer service that we could find. We really couldn't find anything that we felt was appropriate for a hospital. And Robin Rush, our Director of Nutritional Services, actually came up with the idea, why don't we just film our own staff? So we put together, and you remember Tom came and filmed, and we had a wonderful experience in filming our own staff. We had actors, we had scenarios, scripting, and we filmed examples of customer service, of how sometimes it does happen when it doesn't go as we planned. And then we filmed one with the wow service of how we would like to see it. And we broke up into small groups, allowed the participants to discuss the difference in those two types of service, and then they could see their own employees in action performing of what good service looks like.
You really nailed it down to their level.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a big difference versus having a glossy video of, movie stars, whatever, that people don't know, when this is their friends and coworkers.
And now they're famous because when everyone sees them in the hallways, they say, "Hey, I saw you I saw you in the training on the video." So we did have a lot of fun. It's been very effective, and it talked about specific scenarios of customer service that we experience every day.
I remember the one with the plant op guys picking up a piece of trash in the hall, or giving directions to someone.
Yeah, and we feel like that's not just housekeeping's duties, that's everyone's duty to keep our environment clean and safe. Disney's a perfect example. You never see trash in Disney, and not everyone that works there is a housekeeper.
Yep.
So it is everyone's job just to keep our environment clean.
Yeah, no, I think those videos did a great job, like I said, of bringing it home to the employees, and I'm glad to hear that they continue to show those at the new employee orientations as well.
Every month we show those to new employees.
Yeah, and we just had someone on the show not too long ago who's a new employee, and she talked about the employee orientation and how much that meant to her, and that it really kind of helped put those words, caring for our community with compassion and commitment, but not just the words, the actions, and how you make that happen.
Yeah, just all the nonverbal communication that we don't even think about, the touching, the eye contact, the facial expressions, gestures, all of those things are communicating something, and so we want to communicate that we care, and we want it to be genuine. We're not asking our staff to be anything other than genuine when they do that. Yeah.
And I guess that it's real, and I think we've done a pretty good job in the last few years of ensuring that the employees who work here buy that. It's not just a job. I mean, I'm saying 100%, obviously, no matter where you go, but I would say the majority of our employees now really do believe that they have that ownership, they're empowered to do the right thing and to make a difference. Yeah,
that they're doing worthwhile work.
Right.
And they do have the ability to make a difference in someone's life.
And I've shared that for years, Mike, with that I've said Kingman has a big heart and it cares a lot. I see that in the foundation and my fundraising a lot. And I honestly believe that most human beings really do want to make a difference, and they want to make the world a better place, but they don't know how always. They need some direction and guidance. What can I do to make my piece of the world a little bit better? And of course, being in healthcare, obviously that's a big challenge for people, and most of the time when people come to the hospital, it's not for a good reason.
Right.
They're sick, and or on some occasions dying, and their family members are all being impacted, and so every single person
And I think a huge part of that too is just recognizing that someone is going through a lot of pain, and while as healthcare workers sometimes it's just human to get frustrated because of situations, but you've got to realize that they're sick and they're very helpless in that state, and they need someone who understands, who cares, who is concerned for them. And just little things like the nurse that was walking by a room and heard a patient weeping and just goes in and puts their hand on their hand.
Yeah.
Didn't have to say a word, but just that human touch meant so much to that patient. Or we have an ER nurse that there was an accident on I-40, and the patient had animals. Remember that story?
Yes.
Which had some dogs. And I think it was Faith actually took those dogs home and took care of those. So we have some amazing staff that have done some amazing things for our patients.
Going above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, it's not just a job. I mean, obviously it's good to have a paycheck to help pay the bills, but it really makes a difference when what you do every day you can go home and feel good about.
And I think one of the things we've done as a part of that committee too, Jamie, we revised our behavioral expectations of our employees, and we do expect a lot. We do have high standards, and we do hold our staff accountable, and we really have moved to a culture where that if this is just a job, then maybe this isn't the right place
job for you.
Yeah, for that particular person. Yeah. We really do need people who do care and see that this is very important what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, and like we talked about earlier, every employee touches some aspect of that patient care, and whether you're environmental services or nutrition services, whether you never see the patient, but what you do impacts the people who do care.
Absolutely.
You know, and like I said, to be able for our community to know and feel safe and feel good about the fact that when they come here, they know they're going to come to a safe, clean, healthy, and environment that they're going to get well. You know, we're going to take
perfect example of that is my laundry staff, who when I first came, they were like, you know, we're laundry. We're down here in the basement. What do we have to do with patient satisfaction or patient concerns? But I began to educate them and teach them that you even make a difference in what you do, in that you're providing clean linens. If you don't get linens up stairs on time, people don't get their baths on time. It backs up all the nursing. It affects, it's like a chain reaction. So everyone is important. Every job is connected. And it all makes a difference.
In that wheel.
Absolutely.
I even share that with my staff because, you know, in PR, I mean, we do the advertising and promoting of the hospital, but, you know, a couple of times I've got, well, we never see the patients. And I said, but those are your family and your friends, and how we help educate makes a difference.
And if you're not promoting quality, then again, that would...
Yeah, we help keep that bar up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is there anything else, Mike, that you can think of that you would like our community to know about what you do?
I think just that Kingman Regional Medical Center is an amazing place. I came from a much larger hospital in Kentucky. We actually had 2 hospitals, and we've got services here that we did not have there. So I think we're very fortunate in this community, especially this size community, to have a facility like Kingman Regional Medical Center to provide some of the services that we do, to have the quality staff that we do. And I think that we're just very blessed as a community for KRMC to be here.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, recently, of course, we've added quite a number of new management positions, that new directors that they've hired to bring in. And we have a new case manager and a new chief information officer, and that says a lot too, that these people like yourself, you know, from other states, other communities, and they choose to come and work here.
Yeah, they're bringing ideas, they're raising the bar.
But that says a lot about KRMC and what it's doing and what it stands for, that other people want to be a part of it.
Right, and a lot of certifications. I know a lot of nursing is getting their bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, clinical ladders. So, and some of that came about as a result of some of the new directors, you know, that have come, that have inspired
had those new ideas
and
inspirations, right? And of course, in our new relationship with Mayo Clinic, you know, and of course that just, again, to me, I'm always so proud of KRMC, and I brag about us all the time, but it is, we are pretty awesome, if I do say so.
Another example of Mayo, I had the privilege of meeting my counterpart, and actually he's a step above me, at Mayo in Phoenix at a trade show last year, and then saw him again this year at a trade show. But now with the partnership, he wants to come visit our hospital. He wants me to come and teach his staff, and so there's going to be some ongoing relationships where we can help each other, and Mayo speaks quality.
Well,
and for them to choose us as, I guess we're what, the second hospital
in the country
partnered with. Yeah, that's amazing that they saw that kind of potential in us.
Yeah, well, and it shows how our culture really meshes well with theirs.
Yeah,
and what
patient-centered. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they're about.
Yeah.
That's what we're about.
Yeah, I was shared recently. I was in Rochester at Mayo Clinic there for a conference, and I was just, I mean, it's so amazing, you know, the facility that they have there. And I brought back pictures for my volunteer staff because they have what I call a fleet of wheelchairs. They have this room that is just, it's wall-to-wall wheelchairs. I've never seen that many wheelchairs in one place. But they literally, and every person who comes through the door is greeted by a concierge, and if they need a wheelchair, they're given a wheelchair, and they take it with them for the day, however long they need it.
Great customer service.
It's amazing, you know, and I'm sure they too, that they have that environmental services staff that is there to make sure, you know, they're all clean when they bring them back, but they're just there for them. And of course, Rochester, kind of like Kingman, Mayo Clinic is the largest employer in Rochester. They have like 35,000 Mayo Clinic employees there. And so like in Kingman, we're the largest employer here as well.
Similarities.
Right, and I think KRMC takes that as a responsibility to our community. You know, and we're not a taker, we're a giver, and we're a participant in this community.
Absolutely.
And like Mayo is as well, they're very involved in community events and programs like we do too. So there's just some really unique, special things about Mayo and with KRMC, and the fact that they chose us says a lot about us.
And I'm looking forward to tapping into all of their resources.
I know, me too. They have such amazing things for us to do. So we're excited, and I've been glad you've been on the show today with me, Mike. And any of you have questions or comments, feel free to call me at my office, 757-0664. I hope you enjoyed our program today, and we'll see you next week.